This is Jennifer Follett with CRN. I am here with Hervé Tardy of Eaton. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hello, Jennifer. Thank you for having me today.
We are going to talk about edge computing, so let's get down to it. Hervé, tell us about the opportunity in front of Eaton Partners. How big is it?
Well, defining the size of the edge market is fairly difficult at this time because it's still kind of an emerging technology. But I would say it's definitely a great opportunity for our channel partners, because what is edge in the end? It's basically putting compute outside of the standard data center. And as we've seen over the last few years, a lot of data centers move to the cloud, which has reduced the opportunities to sell power products on compute inside the data center. So the edge computing trend is creating a brand new opportunity, because all these compute systems that can be anywhere will require specific infrastructure to operate properly, be it in terms of enclosures, power distribution, or power protection.
So basically this edge computing explosion is creating a revitalization of the hardware market.
Yes, absolutely. Over the years, again, with the cloud trend, we've seen the typical application for a UPS, for instance, moving away from protecting a server to protecting a network switch or protecting a router. So we went from compute to networking. And edge computing is bringing the opportunity back on the compute element, which is probably much more interesting for our partners, because it's the sale of a bigger solution, typically more complex, with more services attached to it.
You mentioned services. Obviously, there's also a big services component. What do you see there for your partners?
I think the big opportunity when it comes to services is in terms of remote management, remote services, starting with the ability to switch on and off the IT equipment. And when people figure out the cost of rolling a truck to a distant location in the middle of nowhere, etc., they quickly understand that they need to over-invest, I would say, in technology, in hardware upfront, to be able to enable these remote management capabilities.
Which are the markets then that you would say your partners are having the most success selling Eaton as part of an edge solution?
We see retail investing heavily in this type of solutions, deploying them typically to enhance the customer experience on site or to address the new needs generated by COVID-19, curbside pickup, etc. So they have to develop new solutions for this. And again, edge computing, if you deploy a solution with artificial intelligence, will drive the power requirements significantly up inside the rack enclosure. And instead of needing maybe a 3-5 kVA UPS, which used to be the standard, they may need 10, 12, 15, 20 kVA, which will require a much bigger UPS, a much bigger infrastructure, probably more margin for the resellers as well when they deploy this type of solutions.
I am now joined by Chris Chergwin of Landspeed, an Eaton partner for several years now. Chris, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about this growth opportunity that you're seeing in edge computing.
Well, this last 8 to 10 months, obviously, with the pandemic, has proliferated the number of users, the number of devices, all of that is now going outside of the traditional office. And it is becoming a bigger opportunity for IT providers like Landspeed to be able to help those organizations with their security, with their management. And so we're seeing a tremendous growth in the opportunity to manage that edge, so to speak.
Are you able to quantify what kind of growth you think you'll see this year versus last?
I have no doubt we'll see double-digit growth in this area, both I think from a project perspective, but also I think from a managed services perspective. Those organizations are not only looking to make sure that those environments are set up properly, but also ongoing the management of those is very important as well. So we see twofold opportunity.